So today I'm going to be talking about the stuff that feels really boring in business but is so essential to making sure that your business runs smoothly. Business models and funnels and strategies. So you can type in, let me know kind of like what you know about that at the moment. Are there any particular struggles that you have within your business? I'll just wait another minute or so if anyone wants to join us live. And let me know what you're doing in your business. Who's a freelancer? Who works for studios? Who's got their own studio or own teaching space? I know Janice has her own teaching space. I always love the delay on these as well because it's like tumbleweeds. Funnels, you've heard this but don't know. Good. That's a good thing. I think that when you're actually first starting out your teaching career, we'll kind of just want to get out there and work as much as we can without really putting this stuff into place. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. So should I just begin? I'll go with it. If you have any questions, guys, please do type them in as I go and I'll get back to them as and when I can. So you're still in yoga teacher training, cool. But do you know what? It's so cool that you are learning this stuff now, Viviana, so that when you go out and you start teaching, you start to want to build your business, that you've got all this kind of, that knowledge is there. You've got a little bit in your mind already rather than coming back to it in 18 months time or in 6 or 7 years time, as it happens sometimes with clients I work with. Anyway, if I haven't met you before, hi, I'm Leah. I run Start Your Yoga Biz. My coaching programs help yoga teachers to create strategy and direction and build a business model for themselves. So you can really create a longevity in your teaching career. Because we know that burnout is real, right? And sometimes you just feel stuck. You cannot get your business moving. You can't possibly take on any more freelance classes because you're absolutely knackered and we get a little bit burnt out. So by getting all of this knowledge into place now and starting to learn little bits of information, hopefully we're going to avoid that in your teaching career or further into your career if you're feeling that already. So where do we start today? I've got 10,000 notes here. I know that my writing is terrible because I start looking back at my own notes and I can't read what this says. But if you see me looking down, it's because I don't want to miss any little bits out that I know that I want to share with you today. So today we're talking business models, strategies, and business funnels. And if you haven't heard of a business funnel before, it's basically, if you think of a funnel shape, that's a triangle, but a funnel shape. Think of where you start to gain leads and tickle the fancy of people who might be interested in your business, funnel them through a process to become a paying client. So basically, if you're looking at it as like an Instagram funnel, someone follow you on Instagram, what do you need to do to turn them into a paying client to sign up for your online Zoom practice, okay? And it all sounds really boring, but I promise you it is essential. And if you jump into business and you haven't really got any kind of model or funnels or any real strategy in place, you do hit that burnout stage very, very quickly. So take some notes as we're going today. And as I said, feel free to ask some questions. So my coaching programs basically do this. They create a funnel, they create strategies within your funnel, and the entirety is your business model. So your business model is how you run your business. So I'm going to talk you through kind of not necessarily module by module because I've got 9 modules in the program, but the subjects that we touch on, why they're so important in your business, and some little things that you can implement yourself now, just in case you're not ready to invest in a program just yet. But here's some information that you can start to put in. So first port of call, really, really important. I think I speak about it pretty much every single coaching session that I've done on here, so it should be drilled in by now, is niching down. Yeah, understanding your specific style of teaching and understanding your target audience. And this is one of my favorite modules that I teach because I tend to ask people to do a brain dump. Okay, so when you have ideas about your business, like what do you want to do with your business? What are your, where are you stuck right now? What's really stopping you from moving forwards? And when I give these worksheets out and I get all the notes back, it is insane the stuff that goes on in people's minds, right? Just like journaling, just getting everything out there, writing it down. So when you look at your ideas for your business, most people will write more things on their paper that they could ever possibly implement and implement well within their business within their first year or 18 months or the next year or 18 months if you're not new to business. So sit and have a mind map, write things down. What do you want to do? You know, where do you see your business going? And if you've got more than like 5 or 6 things that you really want to achieve on there, really look at like, is that possible? I know I worked with a client not too long ago, and I said, where do you see your business going in the next year? And when I picked through all of her ideas that she had, I think there were like 12 workshops, 2 retreats, plus growing her class numbers in the middle of a pandemic without a business model and no strategies. So when I'm saying that back like that, if you're listening to that thinking, that sounds nuts, that might be what's going on in your head right now, okay? So get those ideas down. So you start to really think about how you're going to model your business. From here, we can look at your niche and your target audience. So if you are targeting everyone right now, like I just want to teach everyone, I want to help everyone, that's great. I think that comes from the yogi heart space, okay? That's what we want to do in the beginning. You will find as your career progresses and your business grows, it becomes practically impossible to scale your business when you're trying to reach everyone, because all you can do there, and this is cool by the way, if this is what you want to do with your business, but the only way that you can grow your business is to just continuously put on more and more and more classes. And that's when we start to get a bit burnt out, okay? So if you really want to look at longevity in your business, niche down, understand, you know, what you're really good at teaching and the way that you teach, and understand who your target audience are. So really think about your audience. Do you know who your target audience are? If anybody wants to type their target audience into the chat here, I'll be happy to give you some feedback, see if we can niche it down a little bit. But this is a massive pointer. So until you get that bit done, your marketing will probably fall flat. So if you feel at the moment that you are posting on Instagram and Facebook and your website is up and you're writing blogs or you're sending emails out to people, if your marketing is falling flat, if you're not really getting engagement from it, it's because your target audience isn't clear enough. Maybe your niche style as well isn't clear enough. So really thinking about how you speak to your target audience. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so moving on from there, we start to look within my program at finances. And finances are a bit yuck, I know, for most yoga teachers. But if you live in the West, you need funds to support your lifestyle, so you do need to make money, okay? So looking at your money mindset is a really massive part of the coaching programs that I teach, because I know for a lot of us, we feel a little bit guilty for earning money from teaching yoga. And when I tend to ask, especially my one-to-one clients, you know, what are your financial goals? It's always a bit like, you know, I feel like I'd like to earn something like £3,000 or £4,000 a month. I know it seems like a lot of money. I said it's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money, okay? If you are putting the energy out there and you are sharing your knowledge, then you should be compensated for that. I'm just going to get into these questions. I've seen a couple of questions come in, so I'll get into them. You're into anatomy and writing blogs, but not getting many clients on Zoom. You'd love to be hosting retreats one day. Yeah, retreats are really good fun, really hard work. Retreats, you must niche down and understand who your target audience are, because it's one thing getting someone to pay £10 for a Zoom class than it is to get someone to pay £1,500 for a retreat or something. Okay, so it's really important to understand your target audience. So Mina, do you have a target audience? So I can see you're into anatomy and writing blogs. But who, like, what, how does that connect to your practice? Like, what do you, like, I'm also an anatomical kind of teacher, like I love physiology. So what do you teach? Like, anatomy definitely can be your niche. So who do you tend to target? Okay, and just talking a little bit more about finances as well, really important to get your bookkeeping in check now. Yeah, so even if you know you're at the beginning of your career or you're starting your business, and you've got tons of overheads and not a lot of money coming in, doesn't matter. Get it into your books. You understand exactly, you know, the incomings and the outgoings of your business. So it's really important to understand that, so that you know how much you need to charge for your classes. I've sat with clients before and gone through it, and when we really look at their overheads, which a lot of people don't put through in the beginning, they don't understand exactly what is classed as an overhead. You can claim back for your tax return. I'm talking UK tax here. I know there's some people not in the UK. Then you understand, oh crap, I really need to up my prices if I'm going to make the money that I know I need to survive, okay? So really get your bookkeeping in place now. A couple more questions. You just certified recently. You need a vision board. Yes, you do. You need to get that brain dump done, Mina, and think about your target audience, because without a real direction with your target audience, your marketing will fall completely flat. All right, so when we started to look at our niche and our target audience, we feel we're quite clear on that. This is when we can start to create branding. Okay, so you can have someone design your branding for you, absolutely fine, but you need to be really clear on who you are, the style of yoga that you're teaching, who you would like to bring into your classes before you brand your business. And remember that the biggest part of your branding, the biggest asset to your branding is you. Yeah, so you need to be really, what's the word? You need to be really prominent in all of your marketing, in all of your branding. The way you speak, how you present yourself. Like for example, I have a really basic colour palette in my life. I wear a lot of like darker colours, and I do love a bit of pink and stuff. But if I had my brand as like all the colours of the chakras, that would not connect with me, that wouldn't suit me, it wouldn't really feel very authentic. Yeah, so really thinking about when you create your brand, remember that you are the start point for the brand. Your target audience are the finish point for the brand. So if you want to bring people into your business that are going to have staying power, that you can turn from, paying for a Zoom class to then one day moving through your business funnel a bit more and then becoming a retreat goer with you who wants to pay a little bit more money, you need to make sure you're really connecting with that person. So putting the right branding out there to bring the right clients in. Let me catch up on these questions. You like the idea of teaching 3 levels, beginners, medium and stronger class? Can I niche all 3? So with that, I would say you need to find out what your niche teaching style is. So it's harder. I have generally always taught all levels, but I can say that I'm a real basic flow teacher. Yeah, I love vinyasa flow, so that's how all of my classes are designed, whether it's a beginner's class or like an intermediate or a dynamic class, it's all a flow. I have a dance background, so all of my class plans are very dancey, very flowy. I move with the music, like I kind of choreograph to music, so that's my teaching style. I think it's fine to mix up your levels, but make sure that when you're thinking about your target audience, are they going to all fit into those 3 levels? If that makes sense. Like one ad that you create for Instagram, for example, like one marketing post, if you're going to try and push that towards a beginner's class, then if you've got people following you that are into dynamic classes, they might think, oh, this is not the right teacher for me. I hope that makes sense. Let me just check I haven't missed out any questions there. Okay, cool. So yeah, you can, I wouldn't say you can niche 3 levels of classes. You can niche your style and you can niche the kind of people that you teach. So have a think on that one. Maybe we'll talk about it a bit more at the end. If you want to, send me a DM at the end of this and we'll talk about it a little bit more. All right, so we've spoken about niching down and our target audience. We've spoken about finances and we've spoken about branding. So branding really is starting to build how our funnel is going to look. Okay, so we're moving now towards digital mailing. So digital mailing systems are an amazing and really essential, I think, part of your business funnel. Okay, so moving people from becoming a lead, where you might take them from social media, onto your mailing list. So you don't have to have a mailing list. I know a lot of people use social media as their funnel, but I personally, because I love to blog, like if you're a blogger and you like to write and you like to express yourself through the written word, absolutely get yourself a mailing list set up. It's a little bit less noisy than social media, so you can kind of slide into someone's inbox rather than send them a direct message. There's no such thing as like, you get those cold DMs where just random companies message you. You can't do that with digital mailing because they have to subscribe to your mailing list. Also be really careful with just emailing like from a Gmail account. If someone's contacted you once about yoga, depending on where you live, check the GDPR regulations there, because a lot of the time it's actually illegal just to use someone's email address if you haven't got permission to use it and to keep emailing them. So Module 4 within my coaching programs, we look at digital mailing. Yeah, so I look at digital mailing systems, lead pages, lead magnets, all of that really confusing stuff that everyone goes, but that is really essential, I feel, for the longevity of your business. So grabbing people's email contacts and building a relationship with them that way. Okay, so really strong part of your business model. Just checking in for questions. Hi, Georgie. Let me give a few waves here. Yeah, Viviana, you can send me a message after and we can talk about that if you want to. Okay, so your digital mailing platform is an important part of your funnel, but how are you going to get people onto your digital mailing platform? The easiest way right now, everyone is online, it's becoming a bit more visible on social media and using your website to its full capacity. So social media, first of all, I'm going to just say as well, in case anyone watches this back, massive shout out, well done to all of my group coaching calls that started their social media module this week. At the end of the first workshop, everyone's face is always like, so much to learn. And there is so much to learn with social media, but when you have learnt, as much as you can, it is so simple to use to bring people into your business. So I teach over a 4-week module, because there is a lot to learn, and then it's continuous implementation through the rest of the program as well. So if you feel like you have zero idea about social media and you're just posting pictures of yourself onto your platforms, reach out, we'll have a chat. If you feel like you would like a little bit of coaching, I'll see if the program will be good for you. So it's all about visibility, making your business, making your brand more visible to your potential new clients, your target audience. So we look at social media, how social media works, algorithms, hashtags, keywords, how to use direct messenger, all of these things that I know is a little bit mind-blowing in the beginning and can take you years to figure out if you haven't got someone telling you, do this, do this, do this, do this, okay? So how to get your social media looking really attractive to your target audience. I know I've said this a few times. I said it last week on my live one-to-one with Janice. You can go in and have a little look at that one if you want to. Think about an 80-20 balance. So you've got maximum 20% advertisements on your social media platforms, 80% valuable information. Social media has changed so much. Specifically Instagram. Like I know I joined Instagram in 2013 and that's when we just posted pictures of like cats and food and I don't know, doing a little bit of a yoga practice and then here's a picture of a boat by the river, and now it can just be used as such a strong tool within your business funnel. So your website and social media are kind of going to be at the top of your business funnel. From here, we're going to move down onto your mailing list, and then from your mailing list, move people through to be paying clients. So it's really important that you understand how social media works. And you're all here watching on social media, so you have social media accounts. So if social media is mind-blowing to you and you're not really sure how to read your insights, send me a direct message. Let me see if I can kind of point you in the right direction. But as I said, I teach it over a 4-week module because I do think there is so much to learn. And even in that 4 weeks, we're just kind of scratching the surface and getting things rolling, getting the ball rolling there for you. So as well as social media, looking at your website. So I have some content that I've prepped that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. There are some massive mistakes that I see a lot of yoga business owners make when it comes to their website. So I'll just share like a couple with you right now. If your homepage is all about you, then you're not speaking to your target audience. If you are not clear on your target audience, then your website won't be speaking to your target audience in any way. So if like your tagline is yoga for everyone, that doesn't really connect strongly with anyone at all, okay? So look at your use of language and look at if your homepage is all about you. Also, another massive one that comes up, other end of the spectrum, if you have no pictures of you on your website, you are not a human, okay? You need to make sure that you're humanized and people buy from people. So if your website is just loads of like generic stock photos, then make sure you're getting pictures, professional pictures of you on your website so that you become a real person, because no one is going to want you to teach them yoga or come to your retreat if they don't know who you are and what you look like and connect with you a little bit more. Okay, so we're kind of at like module 5 and 6 in my program here, looking at visibility and how to really boost your visibility. I also cover SEO, search engine optimization, so that when people type in yoga teacher in Wakefield, then you come up. Who was in Wakefield? I forgot. Mina, were you in Wakefield? I have to go back through now, so I make sure I get it right. Someone was in Wakefield. All the messages have come in, I've got lost. Okay, so someone was in Wakefield. So you want to make sure when people are typing in, you know, a yoga class, yoga teacher in your area, that you come up. So working on SEO, search engine optimization, to make sure that that hits nice and strong. So you can actually go away and Google SEO. There are some simple ways that you can do that yourself. If, again, you're not ready to invest in a course, you probably can figure a few of those bits out yourself, but make sure you've taken the other work within the funnel into place, into consideration, sorry. So from here, we have our branding, we have our audience, we know exactly who we're talking to, we've got our social media on point, our website is flying. Now we start to move people through the funnel to become paying clients, and we do that with strategy. You wouldn't go on holiday. Well, I wouldn't go on holiday, I will say, because I've got control issues, but most people wouldn't go on holiday without thinking, right, I'm going to book this flight, this is how I'm going to get to the airport, I'm taking this flight, I land at this airport, and then from there I'm going to get a taxi to the hotel, I'm going to get a bus to the hotel. You have a strategy from from moving from A to B on your holiday, yeah? It's the same thing within business. If you just jump straight into it and be like, I'm just going to teach yoga and I'm going to charge £5 a class, and then in 2 years' time I'm going to teach my first retreat. There's no strategy behind that. So it's so important to set strategies. If we don't have strategies within our business, business will flop. Yeah? Hi Scott, let me give you a wave. So this is the point where I start to help my students create mini strategies within their business to make sure it's easy to gain paying clients. So you'll have a social media strategy that you're using. You'll have a SEO strategy that you're using for your website. Yeah, you'll have a strategy for a launch of a product or a class or a workshop, whatever your offering is. So you might have 3 or 4 mini strategies going on at the same time, which can help you to create structure. So you're not sitting down at your laptop or your phone every day and thinking, what the fuck am I working on today? Yeah, you're sitting down, you have a schedule that you follow, you have your administration in place, you have a strategy. And when you have a strategy, it's really hard to fail, okay? So moving yourself from A to B through your strategy to bring your client into your business. I hope you're all still with me. I can still see eyeballs watching. Maybe you're frantically writing notes. I don't know, you might have to watch this one back. I've already gone off my notes already. Okay, so from figuring out our strategy, understanding how to offer, price and sell a product. And I know for a lot of yogis, selling feels gross, you know? How many times have you had someone message you and say, I can't afford this, or can you discount this, or can I spread my payments, and all this stuff. And this is something that we deal with massively. So by this time in the program, you tend to be a little bit more in your fixed your money mindset, and you understand when it is and isn't appropriate to discount things. But understanding how to sell, yeah, making it easy for people to buy, so they haven't got to send you a direct message and then drop money into your PayPal or into your bank account. Just having a process for sales, especially when it comes to higher ticket offerings, and we're moving away from like a £5 or a £6 class online. Having another strategy in place for sales, understanding how sales work, okay? Really, really important. A few messages there. Yeah, you need a strategy, Mina. Everybody needs a strategy. It's my favourite thing. I just love plans. Good advice regarding the website homepage. Yes, well, Georgie, we are going to work on this in our program, okay? But websites, you can really make websites work for you, okay? I've got lots of tips on websites. Let me give a few little waves here. Okay, so from this, we move into the final module of the programs that I teach, which is completely understanding your funnel, because You've done your niching down, you understand your target audience, we've come up with a business model and a plan and things you want to do. You know that you've got your finances in order, your branding feels comfortable, you've got this really amazing mailing list, you've got your social media popping off and people are, you know, what's the word? Oh God, my mind went blank. People are contacting you about your classes or whatever it is you're offering. You feel visible with your social media and your website. You feel like you've got your strategy in place, and you need to really understand how it works so that when you finish your program with me, so whether that's 12 weeks one-to-one or 16 weeks in the group program, you're not going to just fall flat and think, oh no, I don't know what to do now. And this is why it's really important, I think, as a coach, to break down into modules so that we focus on one module and then we implement it through the rest of the program, so that at no point you're going to fall flat and think, I completely forgot what I'm doing here. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. A very basic business funnel is your leads, or how to generate leads. You know, how are you going to be visible and stand out to people? Connecting with those leads, they move down your funnel a little bit further, probably onto your mailing list or maybe into your private messages on social media, and then building a relationship with them, so they move down to the bottom of your funnel and finally become a paying client. Whether for you that means a one-to-one client, or someone who's in a group program with you, or someone who wants to come on a retreat with you. So does that make sense? Send me some thumbs up or some love hearts if you're understanding what the funnel is now, but also thinking, fuck, I need a funnel in my business. And trust me, it's not something that will just come as second nature. Like, before I started my yoga business, I had fitness businesses and I learned funnels that way, okay? Oh, we've got love hearts, good. You want to share loads through social posts and other website views, but no one really booking classes on your website. Okay, so Mina, that to me says that your marketing and your website are not speaking to a target audience. If people aren't booking, if you find that people are like commenting on your posts or talking to you on social media and you're having visits to your website but people aren't buying, then they're not connecting with you as like the perfect teacher for them, if that makes sense. Again, you can jump into my direct messages after if you want to have a look at your website and at your social media for you. I'll happily do that. So does anyone have any other questions on all that boring stuff? Funnels and business models and stuff, strategies. So it's all stuff that you'd think at the beginning, like, I don't need to do this as a yoga teacher. And I have had several conversations with people who say, I'm interested in business coaching, I just want to learn social media. That's not what business coaching is. You can take a social media course, but if you haven't done the groundwork before, your social media is still going to fall flat. And I always think in 18 months time, they will come back and say, I still can't get the clients in, you know? So really understanding that building a funnel and a strategy in your business is so, so important if you want longevity. You don't want to be burnt out, and you don't want to feel broke. Do you really need a web page? Is a Facebook page okay still? So I really think it depends on what you are doing, or what you're offering. So back in the days before there was a global pandemic, I would say you can DM me, Mina, yes. I would say you absolutely need a website if you are offering one-to-one classes or group classes, like in person. Because if someone from my area, if someone went online, like if you go online and you type yoga teacher in Rochester, which is where I live in Kent, I come up in the top 2 or 3, okay? And that's where I want to be, because I want people contacting me. If you're going to teach online and you want to stick online, you're going to have an online membership or something, you can absolutely do it through social media. What can we say on this? SEO. So search engine optimization, the more that your business name appears online, the higher up in a Google search you will rank. So if someone Googled yoga with Viviana, if you have Instagram, Facebook, you're going to rank. If there's someone else who's got yogawithviviana.com, they're going to rank higher because they've got a website. So you might not necessarily need a website if you're going to just have like online classes, but if you're going back into studios at some point, or you're going to offer private classes like on a personal level, I would have a website if I was you. Been really insightful. Great, thank you guys. Okay. Okay, so if no one has any more questions, feel free to, send me a DM. I will happily have a look at your website or your social media for you and kind of tell you where you could improve it if you feel like it's not really working for you. Thank you for joining me, those of you who've been live the whole time. I will be back next week with another live coaching session. So I'm here at 12:30 every Thursday. I'll say every Thursday, most Thursdays I'm here at 12:30. If you have questions regarding business, please do reach out. I have 2 spaces left on the group coaching program that I have starting on the 9th of March. It's a 16-week online program. It's live, so all of the workshops are live on Zoom. If you can't join the live workshops, you get all of the replays, all of your questions get answered. I have only 6 people in a group, so it's kind of semi-private coaching, okay? So I get to look in your business and be there with you as you build it. So if you're interested, do reach out, but also send me a DM if you want a little bit of guidance with your social media or your website. So have yourselves a really nice day, and I will see you next week, guys. Namaste, bye.